Hi everybody, it's Joe at American Talk USA on AmericanTalkUSA.com. Welcome to Round Knob, which is a recreation area in southeastern Greene County in Tennessee. And this is where I hang a lot. This is a great starting point for hikers for several trails. Just behind the camera is an intersection of Jennings Creek and the Round Knob Road. And then to my right over here is the Round Knob Forest Service Road, which is a common access point to the Appalachian Trail. We use that quite often. It's only 1.8 miles from where I'm now standing to the Appalachian Trail from here. It's about a 1,200 foot elevation gain from about 3,400 feet to roughly 4,600 feet. It's a great trail. It's easy. It's a great starting point. You can go from here north and east to places like Jerry's Cabin and Devil's Fork Gap, or you can go the direction we're going to go today, which is going to be over a place called Firescald Ridge and Camp Creek Bald, which is, for those of you that are from this area, which I know there are several of you that listen to this show that are from this area that no longer live here. If you remember when you were a kid and you looked up at the mountain, you saw the fire towers. That's where we're headed today. So we'll be right on the North Carolina-Tennessee state line. You'll have some amazing views of the mountains of the Blue Ridge and western North Carolina, which is the reason for doing this. If you're listening by podcast, right now, you can continue obviously to listen to the show, and we welcome that. But you may want to watch this, and I'm going to try to sync these elements up and see how this works out today. Got a 10-minute limitation, so without further ado, we'll quit with the gum flapping, and we'll head up towards the Appalachian Trail, and I'll be back with you in just a minute. Got any questions or comments for the show? Email those to Joe at AmericanTalkUSA.com. Okay, boys and girls, a mid-hike update. Just ran into a hunter up through here, and he is out looking for his dog as I try to get my black diamond trekking poles into the ground. You would think with as much rain as we've had recently, that wouldn't be a problem. Let's see where we are. We'll just check out on the GPS here right fast and give you a marker. Been at 0.8 of a mile, climbed, let's see, how much climbed so far? About 700 feet. So, we're moving along now. I've gotten a report, he was on a motorcycle, he's looking for 2 lost bear dogs, which is real common. They just finished training season here in East Tennessee. Now, training season is interesting because the hunters can't go into the woods, but the dogs can. And these dogs are incredibly expensive. Between a well-trained bear dog will bring between about $5,000 and $10,000 US. I am not kidding. So they are very passionate, obviously, about their recreation, and they bring these animals into the woods for a 2-week period beginning at the end of September to the 1st of October. And what they do is they let the dogs loose into the national forest areas to run the bears, and they tree them, is what the dogs do. They tree the bears. And what happens is these dogs have transmitter collars on them, and I don't know if they have shock devices on them or there's some kind of signaling to let them know that they're supposed to return to their owners, to their masters, but invariably, obviously, there are issues. There are things that come up. As an example, there was one I know of an animal that was shot and killed about 2 weeks ago in a private residential yard adjacent to the national forest, and that dog was worth about $5,000. And the homeowner shot and killed the dog. It happens. So the guy was on a motorcycle and he headed up to the ridge cap up here, and he said, "You're going to get wet." So he was looking for his lost dog. He's got a red tick hound and a blue tick hound, and I actually forget what the other one was, but they have ID collars. So if we find them, well, you know, we'll try to get them back to their rightful place if we do happen to find them along this route. Unlikely though. One of them's been missing for about 14 days, so that's tough. So anyway, I wanted to make this entry along the trail, just in case it does rain, because if it rains, I mean, it's already very muddy down at the bottom, and if it starts raining, I'm going to skedaddle, as they say here in the South, and get off this trail. So I thought I'd make an entry now, just in case this happens to be my last one. If not, I'll probably meet back up with you at the trail intersection, which is about 1 more mile. Okay? Until then, cheers! Okay, boys and girls. Yes, I've stopped again. There's been a significant change in the wind direction. And I think my hunter friend was correct. I think I'm probably in trouble. So I was hoping to get to the top of the ridge and see if there weren't some updrafts. That's very common in these mountains. You can see storms will be coming in from western North Carolina, but you can kind of see down below you where the trees are kind of shooting up, as it were, and that's common. It kind of steer the storms away from you and keep them in North Carolina. I'm afraid that's not going to happen this time. So, one more installment in today's show, just in case I run out of opportunities to continue this. And I thought what we do is we just briefly go through the equipment that I'm wearing today. Why not? If you're listening by podcast, this really it won't be any different if you watch. So here we go. First and foremost, number one rule: no cotton at any time. I don't wear cotton underwear. I don't wear cotton socks. I've got merino wool socks made by Smart. These are made by Smart Wool. Hiking pants today. These are, I don't even know what these are. These may be North Face, I'm not sure. Zip off, of course, for comfort in the summer. And, of course, wear the long ones in the winter. And also, year round if you're running into nettles and sharp objects on the trail and stuff like that. Keep your legs from getting chewed apart. So that's one thing. This is my Mountain Hardwear conduit silk jacket. It's awesome. I love this thing. It is a rain jacket. It's waterproof on the outside, so it's got a PVC shell on it, but it's breathable. It's got conduit silk on the inside, as you can see that. See the white kind of interior there? What this thing does, it actually, when you zip it up, it will evac the moisture, the condensation, the heat that's coming off your body, which creates moisture. It lets that out, but when it starts raining, it keeps you dry on the outside. So it's really an awesome jacket. Ultra lightweight. It's made by Mountain Hardwear Company. I forget how much this jacket cost. I think it was about maybe 125 or 150 bucks. So yes, it's expensive for a rain jacket, but totally worth it. A good piece of rain gear, can't beat it. I unfortunately don't have rain pants today, so that's a bad thing. If it starts to rain, these pants get wet, that's a problem, especially with the temperatures where they are, because it's about probably 55 degrees. So that's really uncomfortable. Your legs will chill down to 50, maybe even the high 40s, so that's a problem. You don't want to hang out too long in that kind of weather, so that's why we're watching the winds. I've already mentioned my trekking poles. They're black diamonds. These don't have a suspension system built into them, but they have these cool little things right here. If you're watching, you can see that. They got these little flip tabs, which you can flip real easily. Of course, I've got a recorder in my hand, so it's making it hard. And as you can see, the thing just adjusts very, very quickly and very easily. And then it snaps just as easily right back into place. There's 2 of these on this pole. They've got cork grips, and they've also got this really nice foam grip. So, plus a wrist restraint, and they're ergonomically built to about 15 degrees. So these are awesome. You just slip your wrist through like that, punch it down, and your wrist stays straight. So there's no real tension ever built up in this. So get a pair. Don't buy just one. Make sure you have a pair of trekking poles, not just one. As I say, no cotton, especially on the feet. The feet are the big deal. I today am wearing Montrail trail shoes. Very common, getting the most wear out of these in the southeastern United States. I don't know if you can see those, but these are mesh. When your feet get wet, you take a couple steps, most of the water's already squished out of your shoes. One of the common mistakes people make when they first start hiking is they go out and buy a pair of expensive boots. Not necessary to do that. Start with a good pair of trail shoes. Montrail will put their shoes on clearance at the end of the season. You get a pair for 50 bucks, and they're fantastic. You'll get a lot of life out of these. Let's see, what else? As I say, even no cotton underwear. We've already mentioned this on the show. Patagonia, nylon, I think they're nylon silk. Fantastic. As I told Holly earlier today, you won't chafe, and we all know how important that is, so it's a big deal.